So today, I'm going to be exploring the dangers of patriarchy for men through the cartoon Gravity Falls created by Alex Hirsch. So in this video of mine, I talk about how misogyny, a byproduct of patriarchy, is far more dangerous than misandry, which could be a byproduct of feminism. I feel like to include men in the feminist movement, it's just not important to talk about women issues, because even if our issues are way graver and way worse than theirs, they don't affect men directly, and something whose implications men cannot feel, they're just not going to have the drive to fight against it. So today, I shall bring to light the betrayals of patriarchy against its most privileged perpetrators, men. And I'm going to do this through exploring this particular episode of Gravity Falls called Manly Dipper. Manly Dipper is the 6th episode of season 1 of Gravity Falls, and a quick summary would be that Dipper is enraged at not having reached puberty, the age of acne and angst already.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for the mailman.
Oh, what? Are you saying I'm not a male man? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm not male? I'm not a man? Is that what you're getting at?
I mean, he's 12 and he doesn't have a single chest hair. Can you believe it? His family makes fun of him when he decides to challenge the strength machine that basically ranks his strength from being a wimp to a middle-aged woman all the way to an alpha male. Mabel, his twin sister, a Mr. Fit of Laughter, says that Dipper should not even bother trying because he's not exactly Manly Mannington.
What's so funny?
Oh, no offense, Dipper, but you're not exactly Manly Mannington.
And as you would have guessed, the great detective that you are, he scored a wimp on the strength machine. Now, this triggers his self-esteem issues and how he doesn't feel man enough. He gets a meltdown even though he's only 12, runs to the mountains and starts lifting weights. The weights being a twig and failing miserably. Okay, people, now look at this. It's not even a heavy branch. It's literally just a twig and he's struggling so much. Like, I'm the one with noodle arms here, thin as a bone, and I'm able to make fun of him. I say the kid is justified in having a meltdown. Anyways, this brings us to the first major betrayal of patriarchy against men. Toxic masculinity. You have to be buff, loud, punch every other wall, or else you would be the women in your house, have anger issues, bury your emotions in your chest, never to be found again, and never cry. Oh, God forbid, if you ever cry, that's like signing away your rights of self-respect and being a subject of mockery. If you're a man watching this, I need you to realize that patriarchy is policing your conduct. It's regulating your behavior, your thoughts, your emotions, your goals, and your very essence of being, and it doesn't give you the freedom of expression and exploration. You cannot be soft, or else you would be insultingly called a woman. You cannot be a rest-assured stay-at-home husband while your wife earns, cause what is this, 3021? Nope, it's 2025 and your ego cannot take this. What? You don't like sports? You might as well identify as a woman. What? You like K-pop? Hold on, people, we got a gay person amongst us. And the irony is that all these men who don't fit the standard of toxic masculinity are insultingly called women, but when they do identify as a woman, these people become the subject of hatred and transphobia. I talk about transphobia in these 2 videos of mine, the link will be in the description. Anyways, getting back to the episode, while Dipper is exercising, if you can call it that, the earth suddenly starts quaking with all these animals and this beefy lumberjack fleeing for their lives.
For the love of all that's holy! Rah!
And this is when we see the Minotaurs arising. Minotaur, half man, half animal, with over 360,000 injections of testosterone and over 6,000 muscles. Mind you, the human body only has 600 muscles. Dipper gets scared and strikes a high-pitched scream, which is again common for kids his age, but then he realizes the blunder he committed and tries to rectify it by giving a manly scream.
Wait, sorry.
The Minotaur then sniffs Dipper and says,
I smell emotional issues.
Which I found pretty surprising because toxic masculinity is anything but embracing emotions. The Minotaur then takes Dipper back to his lair where he sees other Minotaurs, and when they ask for his name, he replies with Dipper and they boo at him.
And you are?
My name's Dipper.
So then Dipper renames himself Destructor and he gets the approval.
Weak.
The, Destructor?
Yeah, that's better. Prove not bad.
Now, you may say that I'm reaching over here, but I feel like the episode here is showing in a subtle way how patriarchy pressures men to be literal destructors. Like men starting and going on wars throughout history. The heroic code, which says that your honor and glory lies in how great of a warrior you are. It's pretty evident in classics like Iliad by Homer and many other cultures. For example, the Norse mythology says that the most honorable way for Vikings to die is during a battle. And then when they die, these dead warriors are received by angels who then escort them to Valhalla, or the corridors of heaven. Then after this, these dead soldiers fight alongside Odin, the god of war, as soldiers when the apocalypse comes and the world is finally starting to end. The Vikings' armed conflicts are here condoned by God, and patriarchy upholds these standards. Anyways, getting back to the episode. Dipper asks the Minotaurs to confer their manly elixir on him and give him tips on how to be a man, to which they deny. Now comes a very interesting part in the episode where after being denied, Dipper proceeds to challenge the Minotaur's ego. He says,
Obviously, you guys think it would be too hard to train me. Maybe you're not man enough to try. You guys hear that? It sounds like... Is that... That sounds like... Yeah, a bunch of chickens.
which I found pretty manly, to be honest, because for lack of a better term, Dipper is this and the Minotaurs are this. Dipper provokes them and manipulates them into agreeing to help him, which the Minotaurs call some brain magic.
I feel all weird. He's using some sort of brain magic.
So they know that he's psychologically tweaking them, but they don't exactly know what he's doing. And here comes another fallibility of patriarchy. It strokes men's ego too much. So much so that when it is challenged, it renders them easy to be manipulated, but it also gives them a free pass to objectify women, to R-word women, and to SA women. It gives them a free pass to dehumanize women, which then dehumanizes them, because if you're doing all this stuff, then you're not a human but a monster. Patriarchy is stripping you of your humanity. In this world, men, women, trans people, all the LGBTQ plus people, we coexist. And in order for our society to be at its peak, it requires us to lead our lives with harmony and peace. And patriarchy, it propagates the oppression and domination of all the marginalized communities by men. You cannot lead a happier life if you're always prejudiced and bigoted against others. Anyways, coming back to the episode, the Minotaurs say that a real man is one who can conquer his fears.
Being a man is about conquering your fears.
They ask Dipper to conquer his fears, but it all again revolves around stereotypes. Like when the Minotaurs say that one needs to conquer their fears to be a true man, they were going somewhere with this. Like the resolution could have been like Dipper coming to terms with his insecurities and realizing his worth as a prepubescent man. But instead, we get this whole montage of him doing harsh physical training, getting hair, sorta, and getting all tatted up to be fully man. It again enforces gender norms, about which I deep dive into this video, so I'm not going to elaborate here. Then comes Dipper's ultimate challenge. In order to be a full-fledged man, he now has to hunt a creature called a multi-bear and get one of its heads.
Bear heads, silence.
Why? Reason not required. He just has to go out in the wild and commit violence because that will make him a man. However, when Dipper arrives at the multi-bear's cave and dominates him in a fight, the multi-bear concedes his defeat and says that before dying, he has a last wish to ask for.
Very well, warrior. But will you grant a magical beast one last request?
Okay.
Dipper agrees, and the multi-bear says that his last wish is to listen to his favorite song, Disco Girl, by a girl pop group named BABA. Yes, it's the show's version of ABBA, and wouldn't you be surprised to know that it is Dipper's favorite song too?
Yeah, that's it. Press and hold.
You listen to Icelandic pop group BABA? I love BABA.
This is when Dipper and the multi-bear, they bond and realize they have so much in common.
Oh, you mean Disco Girl?
Coming through, that girl is you.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
And this is when Dipper comes to know that the reason the Minotaurs hate the multi-bear is not because he's evil, but because his interests are girly.
I thought I was the only one. All the Minotaurs make fun of me because I know all the words to the song Disco Girl.
And this is the exact moment he knows that all this criteria for being a man, it's nothing but a malarkey. He leaves the company of the Minotaurs for good and comes back home.
Kill the multi-bear or never be a man.
And I guess I'll never be a man.
And when he gives a summary of all of this to his great uncle Stan, he says this.
You were your own man and you stood up for yourself.
Huh?
Yeah, you did what was right even though no one agreed with you. Sounds pretty manly to me, but what do I know?
Now, this is some pretty good messaging right here, but it conjures up another question. If standing up for yourself is what makes you a man, then what is it that makes a woman? This will be the topic for my next video.